Welcome to our first podcast on online isolation 3. We're here with Dee Dee and Dodge, but also Aaron and Days this season for isolation whenever they can make it anyway. And we got our horror theme. We got our smaller casts with some returnees. I kind of want to just go through the cast first, but any initial thoughts, I guess?
What is your problem, Nick? I was like,
What's my
soulless? Yes, what is your problem? Cemeteries and stuff, Nick? Really?
It's horror themed.
Oh
I
my
like it.
God.
Yeah,
I like
it's
the
spooky.
theme.
It's spooky for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything that's gonna happen that's gonna be a little more horror themed, like throughout the season?
Perhaps.
Gonna have people
Word.
cutting fingers off and stuff because I'd be totally down for that.
Definitely want to be Patrick.
It would be Patrick if anybody was going to do that.
Definitely.
Most likely.
Well, let's go through the cast, I guess. We're going to go through newbies first, and then we could go through the survival players that are playing isolation. We shall begin with Diani. What are your guys' first thoughts on Diani?
I know Patrick is saying this is his Dee Dee, but
No,
she
it's
reminds
okay.
me nothing of Dee Dee.
No, she
This
don't.
is
Thank
this is
you,
my
Dave.
this is my Aspen 4.0.
Yeah, she can have
She's my pick to win for this season.
Why?
Damn.
Their social game?
Just everything about her. I love her vibes. She's getting along really well with some of the bigger returnee characters. Patty and Meg. I mean, those two you already know are going to be big players in this game, and if you're on their good side, then you're already making big steps. So I like everything about her. I'm rooting for her. I like her energy. I want to see her go far.
Yo,
Definitely not a
same.
Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Like the 3 bullet points I had by Deanna's name are attitude, check, her vibe is on point, and that hair, love the hair. So dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, when I initially saw her, I was thinking like, yeah, she could win this game. Just like by her vibe, she knows to kind of lay back a little bit, to listen and observe. But I don't know. After watching throughout the rest of the episode, she's already seems to kind of have not a target on her, but people are noticing that she's observing and paying a lot of attention and taking a lot of notes. So she already kind of has a lot of people's attention, and it's really early for that. So I'm concerned for her on that front. But yeah, that I wrote down Aspen like on my notes for her too. She reminds me of Aspen a lot, not so much Dee Dee, but I do see what Patty's talking about. I think they just vibe really well. He feels like they can like work together and be on the same page, have a connection, whatnot. So I see what he's saying.
Honestly, in my season, she almost kind of reminds me of Shelby, just like a little bit. Shelby was a little more quiet, relaxed, chill. But it seems like Diani got on really well with a lot of the cast so far. I mean, everyone liked her. They thought she was chill. Like everyone said, they thought she was observant. And I don't know. I think she's going to do really well so far. So.
Dee Dee, you don't think she's like you at all?
You can tell she's
Not even a little bit?
intelligent.
No. No, I don't see it.
What do you think
But-
Patty's season, or do you think it's because he
I
thinks
don't
they can
know.
work together?
Probably, but he messed up when he was like telling her game plan. I don't know if it was her game plan, but I didn't like how he was just kept saying it. Like I understand the first video, but like you saying it again on the second chat, like I don't like that. And I learned in the past, like I can't call who's going to win or not, so I'm not going to even see if she's going to win or not because I don't know.
Any other thoughts on Diani?
She reminds me of Aspen too.
She's a smart cookie. Very smart.
She
Very
doesn't
observant.
care for little Tony, so I'm already a big fan.
I forgot who was Tony.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony.
I'm ready to talk about him.
Well, we will move on to the kind of more quieter Ian. Any thoughts on Ian?
I wrote him down his first boot, and I almost got it. He came in 9th, right, in the rankings. I don't don't know what to say about him. I didn't write a lot down about him. He's just kind of a background character for me, kind of like a Nick would be. That's all I really got on him.
He makes me think about Hassan a little bit.
Yes.
You know,
yes, there
he's
you go.
kind of just like chilling a little bit. I think he's a little bit more talkative than Hassan was. But yeah, I think out of everybody, I think I have the least notes on him. I just wrote very chill. That's it for the whole episode. So, you know, he's got to make himself known a little bit more. But outside of that, I don't see a problem with him. Seems to be a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, I didn't get much from him. He just, I don't know if it was just the group that he was in, but he seemed kind of quiet. So I couldn't really pick up, you know, kind of more of his personality. But it's just the first episode, so I feel like we'll probably see him come out of the shell a little more later on.
I didn't write anything about him, and I have a bad memory, so I don't even remember who's in. I'm sorry.
Wake up, Dee Dee.
Oh, what? Which one is in? It's like serious question.
I think he's the one who said he's a sales consultant for Best Buy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dot, you need to teach him some stuff about selling. He's not selling to me right now.
I mean,
he remember Lauren? I don't know if any of y'all remember who that was from last season. She's kind of giving me Lauren vibes from Survivor. Like just kind of not there, and at the end of the season, you're like, wait, who?
talking about Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like, yeah, easy target.
I mean, Patty did say he was the better looking version of Dot. Do you don't think that's true, Dot?
Oh, that's
Oh,
in. Okay,
God.
I remember.
Let it go, Patty. Let it go, man.
That was funny.
Not bad. He's not a bad looking guy though. So
We'll
throw that out there.
move on to Jed, who ended up being the first person sent to the afterlife.
It's not a bad place to be in. Aaron, who won y'all's season?
I think, was it Shelby
Shelby.
or Alexia?
Shelby.
Yeah.
And
Shelby.
she was in the basement or whatever it was from the very beginning, right?
Yeah, she
Or-
was in, was it the Void? Is what we
Yeah,
called
the
it?
Void.
She was in the Void right away.
So it's not a bad place to be at the start of the game. You're going to build connections down there. I like him. I know he's kind of shy and reserved, but he knows that. He said he was, and I mean, luck of the draw there at the beginning of the game, getting low scores and sent in, but he's got room to work. I really like him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When he was first given his introduction, he was giving me crazy Manu vibes.
Yes.
I was like, yo,
yes,
this dude-
that's what I
Manu
was
is not
thinking.
crazy.
Yep.
He gave those vibes, but Manu's not crazy.
Yep.
Dog.
Manu is crazy.
Do not talk
Manu
bad
is
about
crazy.
Manu.
Oh
Yeah,
my
me and
God.
Didi can go back and forth on that all day. But yeah, but I think that he is a little bit more talkative. I think he has a little bit more social skill than Manu does. Very observant. He really picked up on Patty and whoever else was like not giving the full story about what was going on in their past. He was able to pick up on that kind of stuff. And I'm a little bit concerned about the situation because I from what I picked up, the first or the second group that he was in, which I think was the high voted group, like Ian, Meg, Patty, Jed, and Yanni, they all agreed that they're going to try to keep each other out of the afterlife, is what I thought. And he's going to find out that Meg and Patty had something to do with putting him in there. And, I'm not really sure how he's going to feel about that. I agree with Dave, it's not a bad place to be, but it kind of depends on how you take it. Like if he gets down about it and doesn't have a good attitude, then he could be stuck in there. But Shelby, on the other hand, didn't. She made connections. She wasn't really sad about being in the void. And, her team was pretty unanimous on bringing her back in the game. So we'll see how he takes his team, like turning on him a bit and what his attitude looks like afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has an advantage already, just being down there first. I think he'll get a good idea of what's going on. And yeah, I guess we'll see kind of the relationships he makes down there. I really don't know who will be next. There's a few people that I feel like could go down next, but honestly, the game is so different, this season. So I can't say what'll happen.
Didi, this is the first. Oh, what were we gonna say that?
I want to add that he was right about the factorial. Like if you're doing the math to see how many combinations of ways that somebody can win, it was definitely like 24 factorial to get it right. So he's a smart cat. He knows his stuff. That master brain's doing
Patty Patty was on it. Was it like 24 times 23 times 22?
But he said 24 times 24. That's wrong.
When
Yeah,
you
no,
say times, I just
Yeah.
zoned out. I don't do math.
Yeah, I'm a math guy. He was right. That was right. Patty, of course, was wrong.
Didi and Aaron, on your guys' season, the first people to go to the void, there was two people at once. This is the first time Jed's going to be there by himself. Do you think that helps him or hurts him though?
I honestly don't know because it's so many. So it's so different. So and it's very less people. So I really don't know how to call it. I personally don't think, unless it's like, does he have any type of power or anything down there?
Yeah, it will be similar to the void eventually.
I something is just telling me that he's not going to come back out, but I could be wrong.
I think that he will.
I hope he does. I think him going down there alone right now, though, makes it a little difficult right now. Because when you have at least two people down there, you can, make that bond right away. So yeah, I obviously, Nick, what's happening. We don't know. So I don't know if he's gonna get an advantage down there or if he's just gonna sit down there by himself and not do a single thing. So
yeah, I think I could hurt him. The biggest thing that I think about is his morale and his attitude. If being down there by himself takes him mentally out of the game, it could hurt him on building those connections and getting back in the game later. So it really just depends on how he takes this.
We'll move on. What are your guys' first thoughts on super fan of these games? And she's also a super Didi fan also, actually. Lyanna, any thoughts on
I
Lyanna?
love Miss Lyanna. Oh my God.
I know Dot's probably happy because I'm pretty sure Lyanna is a certified cleaner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna wear the cleaner shirt today.
Says she was team.
It was only out of pity. Don't get too happy, Dot.
She was rooting for Didi to win survival too, though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No. I just love it. I love it all together. That she's like a super fan. She's a Meg fan. She's like, fan of the show. Outside of that, she has just great energy. Very positive. I don't think she's like making any negative vibes with anybody. And look, I also feel like if you can make a connection with Nick, if you can find a way to like Nick, then you got a pretty good skill set. It's pretty tough to make a connection with that guy. So I feel really good about her. I think Nick was saying that she doesn't seem like the type who's played these games before, which I also agree. And I know that she watches the shows, but I'm not sure if she's ready for all the deception and, as Patty says, y'all eating each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ready for all that.
She gives me Nicole vibes, where Nicole was very just open and exuberant for the first half of the last Survivor game. But when things got dirty and people started backstabbing, you saw the real Nicole come out and start playing dirty. So I wonder if we'll see the same thing. She's very personable. I love her already. Just want to see what happens when ultimately she gets turned on.
No, every time she popped up on the screen, I just got so happy. She's just like a ball of energy and she's so funny, and I don't know. I wish I could have played with her because I feel like she's just so cool and energetic. I don't know. I think she's gonna do well so far, just based off of that alone.
Will it help that she knows Meg and Patty's game, kind of?
She should steer clear of it. If anything, if you know enough about Patty and Meg, stay away because it's gonna fall down the hill real quick.
Right. And I really don't know. Meg keeps trying to emphasize, which is good, that like that Survivor is way different than Isolation, and doing well there doesn't really help you do well here. And I kind of agree. I don't think too many Survivor skills help you in ISO, except for maybe just like personability and likability.
I would say that from the first season, but after the second season, we saw more strategy being brought in to this mostly social game. And then now you have actual survival players playing Isolation. And I think the strategy is going to become more important. Like Meg is already building her mafia and thinking strategically about, how to vote certain people. It's not like Survival or Survivor, but that's also a very social game. So it is kind of the same.
Word.
We will move on to the ultra talkative Jamil. Any thoughts on Jamil?
He's special. He is special.
Oh my goodness. I will say I cannot hit that low note that Jamil hit.
That hurt my chest when he did that. I was like, why the fuck does that hurt me?
I'm
You hit
sorry.
a high
It's
note,
just
though.
That was not a high note.
I have no problem with like a character or like someone who's different than most. Like it doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a little bit different, A lot of times it's a good thing, But I think, when you're giving your intro and someone's meeting you for the first time, if you're gonna start with, this is how low I can sing and this is how high I can sing, that shit's weird, man. That's just weird. It's weird. It's weird. Shoot, he was at the bottom already. It's picking on Meg a little bit. I don't know. I'm worried about this cat. I'm worried about him.
I don't think he's as personable as some of the other players, and I think that kind of hinders him too. Besides the fact that he just has some quirks about him, which are cool, but like at the same time, I don't think he was, forming the relationships that a lot of the other players were doing right off the bat. So I think that's why.
I will say his head was in the game. Like he was trying to take out Meg and Deani from the beginning because he knows that their heads are in the game. So that's not bad. It's gonna have to, it's gonna have to make some friends though. Gotta make some friends.
He's a weird one. But one thing I can say about him is that he didn't use the monkey's paw right off the bat. So I think that was a smart decision. I think he's a little all over the place as far as the game is concerned right now, but that was a good decision in my mind. So maybe he's on the right path. He's strange. I like it. I like strange folks, but definitely a strange one.
Being last this season isn't necessarily the worst with the monkey spot. Do you think he will keep being last for a while?
Yes, I really do.
Can you control that though? Like, how do you get yourself? Patty tried to be the lowest score and that didn't work out for him. Jamil just kind of got there. Can you actually plan to be the lowest score and have that ability to use it? If you get it, I don't think you can. Unless you're just a horrible human being and you can make everybody hate you.
Do you think Jamil's being weird on purpose to be towards the bottom?
No.
That's very authentic.
That's all him.
Any final thoughts on Jamil?
Oh my goodness. I can't sing that low.
Interested to see where he goes in this game. Oh man. Just excited.
Well, we will move on to the person that beat you, Anthony. Where do you guys see Anthony in this game?
He talks a lot.
I don't like him. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm not the only one this time.
I forgot her name.
Yo.
What's her name again?
baby.
I love Anthony, man. I love that kid. Of course, I wish that I would have won, right? But I'm glad that he won. I'm happy that he won. He's a smart kid, and he purposely like acts a little bit goofier to make himself seem a little bit dumber than he really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a lot of messy gameplay already. Like if you're gonna say that you're in the game, don't try to hide it the next round. Like people are already picking up on him trying to hide things, and just this weird connection between him and Nick. So you know, I think his head's got to be in the game a little bit more. The biggest problem is his brain's moving 1,000,000 miles an hour, but his mouth is moving 4,000,000 miles per hour. And, you know, his brain can't keep up with what his mouth is saying. So he's got to just like, I think when he meets new people, he just kind of like goes everywhere. When he was in a chat with Miguel and Nick, it was a lot more like calm, collected strategy talk. So he's got to kind of like slow his brain down a little bit, remember what he's come here to do. And I think he'll be fine. I think it would have been funny if he was eliminated first round, though.
Oh, that would have been.
I was low key rooting for it a little bit, but
no.
not a lot.
I think Patty said it the best in that Anthony is the type to take the panties off on the first date. That's.
I did not catch when he said that. When he really said that?
He said that to his face. He said it to his face.
I don't know.
That explains little Tony perfectly as far as these games are concerned. And I think that him almost being sent to the afterlife is him going to the clinic, getting tested, and being surprised that he was clean and know that you have to be more careful next time. So it's little Tony, man. Like he's a lot. I don't see him winning this game. I could see him, you know, being the next in the afterlife, but his head's in the game. Like he's thinking about how to manipulate the rankings already, you know, first episode. So he knows what he's doing. He's a lot. He's also very extra. Sorry for the graphic analogies.
You said that last time though, Days, that he did have a shot to win. And he won. So you don't think he could beat the first 2-10 winners?
Here's the thing. Here's the superpower of Anthony. Like in the last survival season, I think one of his strongest strengths was picking the right team. He had a team of 4 that was impenetrable. So you know, he's not bad at making allies. We'll see what he can do.
There's no way players like Miguel, first of all, let him get too far in this game. Patty, him and Anthony are not going to get along in this game. You can already see it. And if they can get him into the afterlife, they're not going to let him out.
Yeah. I agree with that. Still rooting for you, boy. Still rooting for you.
How about Miguel? Where do you guys see Miguel in this game?
He's good for this game. He's good for survival also. He's super sociable, very likable. I think Rochelle got the best of him in survival. He has to avoid those super under the radar players and get them out before they have a shot at taking him out. But I love him for this type of game. He's going to be great. I expect him to get a lot further than he did in survival.
I think this is like a redemption almost game for him, considering what happened last time. I feel like he is playing a little more strategically this time. I think he's definitely more in the game, and he kind of knows what he wants to do now. And, you know, he's going to be a little more careful. So
one of my favorite things about Miguel is that I feel like he knows when to stay quiet and to observe, and he knows when to make a funny joke or make himself be seen or something like that. I think his social, his EQ is right on point, perfect for this game. Right now, he's my choice to win the game. I think that he can win it all. I think he's just sociable enough and just quiet enough to squeak right in there. And yeah, I mean, he's a little bit screwed because Anthony let the cat out the bag, and people will find out that he was trying to hide the fact that he was in Survivor last season, and people don't like when you do things like that. So he's gonna have to overcome that obstacle right off the bat. But he's a smart guy. I think he can do it.
I was about to say the same thing. He's my pick to win. If he doesn't, he'll probably be one of the top players.
Didi, did we just agree?
Yeah, shocking,
Did
right?
we just do that?
Oh my
What?
God. Mind
Last
blowing.
season, you guys could never agree.
Nothing.
But yeah, he knows when to do, like he's balanced. Like he doesn't do too much like Anthony, and he doesn't do too less like anyone else that's like super quiet. So, and I don't think anyone is going to take the fact that he was in the other season seriously. They tend to not take it seriously.
I mean, no, just, we have Anthony and Nick already lying about their relationship. Just start trying to
Yeah.
put that target back on them. And I feel like Miguel is already trying to poke at Anthony, because Anthony is one of those that if you don't make them a target for the entire game, they're going to get to the end. And we saw that last season. So poke at him, make sure he's the biggest character in the game. Everybody wants to take a shot at him and get him into the afterlife as soon as possible. Because like I said, once you get him there, I think it's a lot easier to keep him there and not let him out.
Miguel's got to be careful though, because players like Anthony are like super, super paranoid. And I feel like his mistake last season, I'm kind of seeing a little bit this season already, is he kind of underestimates how paranoid people are. He's like, no, but we're okay. We're on good terms. We may have to eat each other later, but nothing's going to happen right now. But they're thinking like 3 levels ahead of you. Like, I need to get you out of this game now because you're a threat.
I don't
So
think he sees Miguel as a threat, though.
Anthony?
I don't think he sees him as a threat.
I think he said that he does.
I think he's worried about what
Yeah, he's
happened
paranoid.
the last game. So he's very paranoid about
Right.
gameplay with him.
Right. Let's see what Anthony does with that paranoia though.
How about old shy Nick?
Dot, come on.
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm trying not to shit on him as much as I did in the last podcast. And I was really happy to see Patty kind of step up and try to boost him. But Nick, man, like, you give us all this energy in your confessionals. We just don't see it when you're in these chats with other folks. And that's how you're going to win the game, is by bringing that energy on your own into conversations with other people and making them like you. And you're not doing that. We didn't see that in the last game. So he definitely has to step his game up. He's going to find himself in the afterlife very soon, unfortunately.
And he also messed himself up with that whole, like, telling one group something and trying to hide it with Meg. So.
And Meg, so badly done.
Meg holds on to things. So she's not going to forget that. So
yeah, he I feel like him being that quiet just makes him too big of a target. Too easy of a target. I really did like his when he had his intro, I was like, yo, Nick is here and he's here to play. Like, I believe the energy. But he just got to bring it in the chat, just like you said. And you know what, Nick? If you're gonna lie, fucking lie, man. If you're gonna lie, look somebody dead in their eyes and lie to them. Don't be like stuttering,
that
looking
wasn't
around
nothing
the room,
to lie
man.
about, though.
Come on, man.
It was too late.
You need to lie, but if you are going to lie, just do it, man. Like, talk to Alex about it.
That would have made it worse.
I was granted, I've gotten pretty good at it. Like, you gotta know how to lie if you're gonna play this game, man.
I will say he seems better with familiarity. I think he's better in conversations with Miguel and Anthony than the people he's just meeting.
True. And there are people in this game that are willing to try to make him comfortable, like Patty and Lyanna. So maybe we'll see some more out of Nick. I don't think so, but maybe.
Let's move on to Meg. Where do you all see Meg in this game right now?
That's my crush of the season.
I hope she doesn't go crazy like she did in Online Survival. I'm rooting for Meg because I know Patrick. I like Patrick a lot, but I don't think Patrick's gonna make it far. So I'm gonna have to cheer for Meg. So I just hope she doesn't like mess up again. So.
she's doing the same thing though. She even said it in the episode.
I'm saying that's why I hope she
Meg's
stops.
Mafia. She's doing the exact same thing she does every single game.
I hope she's just stop, like hold the brakes, like, this what fucked me up the last time, and just be like, okay, let me change it up. I hope that's what she does, but I don't know.
The big difference of this season, because Nick and Dot and all of us have already talked to her, is that she's taken her medication the entire season. So
She was nice and high during this game.
So maybe we'll see a different type of gameplay from her. But I mean, she's aligning herself with the correct people already, and she usually does. She's a very good judge of character as far as game players go. But there's always that pivotal moment in the season where it backfires on her, where she has surrounded herself with too many people, and at some point they're going to have to turn on her, and it's going to happen again. And it's probably going to be Patty.
You know,
I don't think
out
it
of
is that true.
everybody in this season, I mean, I think that Meg is most capable. Like, she's just so well put together, so emotionally intelligent, very sharp, all that kind of stuff. For some reason, she just can't help but stand out. Like, people just are just obsessed with her for whatever reason, and she just can't escape it. I felt most sorry for her out of everybody else, because I felt like she was trying to like lay back, and she was trying, she was being attacked from everyone. From like Lyanna called her out, and Patty was fighting with her publicly, and what's his name, Jamil was like poking fun at her the whole time. And she was like trying to not make any enemies. She was really trying to just be like, hey, I'm just trying to sit in the back and be cool and like not stand out. But between all those things happening and then her getting Solus right, like, I mean, Jamila's already targeted her. She just can't help it. Like, I don't know if she's capable of like sitting in the back. She's just not the type.
Well, the good thing is she doesn't have to win competitions, right? This is solely based on rankings which can be manipulated, and I think she already has a leg up on most of the cast, because she knows those rankings can be manipulated, where a lot of the cast doesn't yet. They're still voting on, oh, this person had the best impression, this person best decision making, which for me personally, I don't think is the way you should rank. I think you rank strategically. So I think that sets her up pretty well. But I don't get it. Why does she stick out so much? I mean, I gravitated towards her when I played with her, so maybe it's just a personality trait.
Yeah, Aaron, you're the only one that never played with Meg. So what is your impression of Meg, I guess?
She has just like a strange energy. I can't describe it, but she's chill, but like there's something about her that's not intense, but like everyone was saying, you're just kind of drawn to her, you just kind of come back to her. And I think part of the problem with her being called out and noticed is people are kind of looking back on, her previous seasons. And I think they're kind of judging her off of gameplay in that, and I don't know necessarily if she's going to play like that again. I think she's going to try and change so she's not in that tough position that happened before. But yeah, I don't know. I've never played with her. I have no clue what she's like, to play with. But yeah, I don't know. She's just interesting. I'll just say that right now.
Well, you hit it on the head. She's definitely intense. She's a very intense, very competitive person. And that was her trying to hide it. That was the best that she could do. Like I said, I think Meg is very capable. I think she can go as far in this game as she wants to, because she's very good at making friends, making connections, but then she also makes enemies because she's such a threat. But I think, classic Meg is getting a little bit too hot too early. And I think except for like Alexia from last season, nobody who started off really hot at the beginning made it all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she gets the Solus. She's already a power player. I mean, yeah.
She's going to want to be in the middle or the bottom a little bit so she can take some heat off of her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lastly, we shall talk about Patty. What are your thoughts on Patty?
Making me cry. I'm just thinking about it.
Does he just know like every fact,
Yes.
every random fact in the world?
Yes.
I was watching and I was just so confused. All of the things that he knows that he just says. I mean, I was learning something, but I don't know. Again, I've never played with him. He seems funny, but also I just don't know. He just knows a lot. I don't know how else to describe it.
I love him. I love everything about him. Like he tries to play off this, I'm a deep, dark, manipulative person, but I think he's a very caring individual. Like you saw that when he spoke with Nick, like he really wants to boost people's energy and them to live their best lives. And he's one of those people that has done that. The reason why he knows everything is because he has done everything possible that you can do in a lifetime. I love hearing his stories. He's not going to go far in this game, but I loved watching him as a character. Looking forward to it, and I hope that I get to play with him one day because I love me some sodium-free Patty.
But is he sodium free? Is he sodium
No.
free?
Hell no, man. Hell no. I mean, the whole like when our Survivor season was coming out, we are pretty much bickering back and forth about through like the chat or social media or whatever. So maybe that's why he feels like we are dating and broke up or whatnot. I just want to say for the record, we wasn't that close. We wasn't that serious. We had a little one night stand, and he got a little too connected. He was texting me the next day. No, I was playing. Yeah, just a little entanglement. No, yeah, it's the same. I think that Patty is such an enigma. He's such a strange guy, and I do think that he tries to put on this persona that's a little bit extra. But I do agree that he's like a very caring, very loving person. Like he really does care about people and tries to do the right thing and that kind of thing. But he's also a pot stirrer. It's the same pot stirring Patty, I think that he just can't help but rub people the wrong way sometimes. And I think because of the energy that he brought, that he was able to make some friends at the beginning. But I think eventually somebody gets offended by something that Patty says, So I don't see him going too far. I'm still trying to decide if this whole like in Survivor, he was like, oh, I'm not going to win the game. I'm not trying to win. And in this game, he's like, well, just send me to the bottom. I don't mind being the sacrificial lamb. I'm trying to decide if that's a strategy or if he's really like, I actually don't care if I win. I just want to like stir up the game.
It's definitely, it was reverse psychology. He didn't want to.
He said that, but I didn't know if he was saying that after the fact or it was intentional before he did it.
Right. And if it is a strategy, I'm just not a fan of that strategy. I don't like people coming in and be like, yeah, I don't really want to win. You can vote me out because you deserve to win more than me. Like, it's a game. Everyone's here to win. Like, come on. That never, I remember in Survivor that really didn't fool me either. But you know what? I'm going to try to be unbiased this season. Got nothing against Patty. I'm going to try to give my real analysis. And he did do a good job of making himself known and building some connections and being in the power player group to start. Not really what you want for the long term, but he's not getting off to a terrible start.
Edie, you worked with Patty a little bit. How do you think Patty works with other people?
Yeah, Diani.
Anyway, I don't know because like I guess I don't think it's because Dot said it was a persona. I don't think it's a persona. I think he's actually like that for real. And I think it's a strategy to where he latches onto one single person or in like whoever that person is attached to, he'll probably work with them like that. So if he's like attached to Diani, maybe he'll work with whoever she's working with, or he would try to protect Diani. I'm not sure. But him always saying like, I don't care, that's definitely a strategy, by the way. I noticed that before. Like he doesn't care because like if someone comes in saying, put me at the bottom, I'm not going to put you at the bottom because that's what you want. So I think it was good strategy. And I think as long as he doesn't talk too much, because like I said, I didn't like how he kept targeting Deani. And I also didn't like how he had that conversation with Meg in front of everybody. So I think that should have been a one-on-one. But like if he learns to, which he will not, if he learns to like not say so much, he could possibly go far, but I know he's not gonna stop talking. So
He was known as posturing Patty in your season, and the only reason he wanted to play again, he told me, is because he wanted to take his posturing up a whole nother level. So do you think he will be able to accomplish that?
no.
I mean, just this episode, the whole, was it when he was explaining the monkey's paw, where he was walking back and forth through his living room, like that
I
entire
think it was
segment,
cooking.
he's not even sitting there in front of the camera, just doing his daily stuff. And that's why, yeah, he's posturing for the audience. I mean, he knows people love to watch him because he is such a character. And I'm glad he's on this season because I love watching him. From a viewer standpoint, I mean, from a game standpoint, he's horrible. I think he's bad at the game, all the games that he's playing. But from somebody watching it, I am absolutely entertained. And the further he gets, the happier I will be.
I want to put it out there. He's my wife's favorite character.
Yeah,
Still?
for that.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
still. And you know what? In Survivor, I was pretty pissed about it, but I can't be that mad this time. I mean, he is super entertaining to watch. I think everyone agrees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be aggravating playing with him, right, Dot? Like watching him, it's super fun to watch, but I can't see myself in the game actually trying to figure out the ways to go around him because you don't know which way to go.
Yeah, he's just not afraid to put pressure on people, like to throw Deani out like that. Like Meg was having such a hard time trying to get to that conversation with him, and he just didn't care. He was like, "We're gonna talk about this."
And he didn't pick up the hints either. Meg was like, yeah, okay.
No, I think he got
I
it.
think he did. He just
Oh,
didn't
he
care.
did?
He just didn't care.
Well, that's fucked up.
And he does what he wants, man. He's great for TV. Love it.
Well, as we wind down, I just want to go over a couple more things here. Let's go with, I mean, how do you guys think the monkey's paw is, what's the optimal way to play the monkey's paw?
I don't understand it, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, basically, if you get the monkey's paw, you get an option to either, do one thing that's not quite as grand, or you could target two people you really want out of the game, but you probably ain't getting out of the afterlife if you go to the afterlife.
I think to play this optimally, you have to really understand where the other players are on the totem pole. Like if the four that were he had to choose from or that he picked, if you knew that Deani and Meg were going to be ranked high, no, I'm just confusing myself. Somebody else figure this shit out.
I
Wait,
can't
so
help you. I'm slow.
can you like hold on to the monkey paw, or is it something you have
No,
to?
it's each round, whoever's the lowest player gets the monkey's paw.
Oh.
So four people you get to choose. So if
It's not always four, it's always a little different. But
okay. Well, if you know certain people are gonna have the highest rankings, then you can choose them because you know they're gonna be safe. So you really just have to understand where everybody's at in the totem pole in order to make your decision, because you can get rid of somebody at the same time as trying to save somebody. But it goes back to what we were asking earlier. Can you even put yourself in that position consistently? Like, how do you get yourself to be the lowest voted every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Say
think
be-
honestly, it's beneficial almost to get the monkey paw in the middle of the game. At that point, you know kind of who's where. I feel like right now, using it, you don't really know quite what the rankings are. So I feel like whoever gets it in the middle, they'll have a great idea of, who they want to target and who they don't want to target. I feel like later it'll be great. Right now I don't know, they don't really know quite what to do, I feel like. So
What's the upside of using the monkey paw again?
You get to choose the nominate.
you could target, basically. If you really want somebody out of the game, then you could basically the
But
nomination.
he got to target some people without using the monkey paw, didn't he?
He did, but
So would he get to choose like 2 people instead of 4?
yeah.
Something like that? Okay.
And still, it was only the bottom rated players were nominated. He can nominate power players if he wanted to use them.
Oh, okay. I see.
You're taking the rankings out of it and just putting up 2 or however many people for the power players to send to the afterlife. But we don't know what makes it harder about going to the afterlife. We don't know that yet, correct? So if you become soulless, you just know that it's going to be harder to get out of the afterlife if you get sent there.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron that it doesn't make very much sense to use it and take a hit in some kind of way later on whenever it's not super valuable yet. I don't feel like there's anybody that you really need to target super well. But towards the middle of the game when you know who your targets are, and maybe you've heard about the disadvantages of using the monkey's paw with somebody else using it, it's probably a smarter move.
Well, if you know where people stand as far as ranking wise, you don't even have to use the monkey's paw because you can put in 2 high rated players and 2 low rated players and guarantee that those 2 are going to be in there.
Right.
So it goes back to just knowing where everybody's at, and you don't have enough information to do that yet.
Right. True beans. It sounds tempting though. Good choice by Jamil.
Do you think Jamil played it right this time?
I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
he did.
But you put somebody like Patty down there, and he's going to use it just for shits and giggles.
Right.
True. Just gonna try it out.
What do you guys think of the dynamic between Meg and Patty?
I feel so bad for Meg. I feel like the first chat that she was in was awkward, right? There were some strange people in it. The chat got really awkward, and she was trying to act normal, and it made it hard for her. Then she gets into her next chat, and then she got to face Patty, and Patty's trying to make things even more awkward for her. I'm worried for her because Meg is like, she's a nice person. She's a trusting person. Like, she's gonna let Q stab her in the first season in an online battle, try to work with her again, right? So if her and Patty have a good conversation and they kind of like get on the same page, she will trust Patty a little bit and kind of give him a little bit of leeway, but Patty's not going to do the same thing. You know, Patty will cut her throat a lot faster than I feel like Meg will. So I'm a little bit concerned.
If he says he won't, then he won't. Did he say he won't? No.
I don't know if he said that I don't know if they actually
Patrick
did they actually
never-
end up on good
never
terms
lied.
or did it just stay awkward the whole time?
I mean, they kind of said they wanted a clean slate, but you returnees always say it's gonna be a clean
It's
slate.
never a clean
And
slate.
then is it ever a clean slate?
It's never a clean slate because it's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? Like you can't. You seem too much of an idiot if you do clean slate and then you get stabbed in the back again.
Well, wasn't that why Anthony was so concerned with Miguel coming back?
Yeah.
Because he was, nervous about playing with him again because of
Right.
what
And I
happened.
think he should be.
Yeah.
That's
Should be.
different though, because that was a backstab. Patrick didn't stab Megan in the back. Like, she saw him coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
stabbed her
that's
in the front.
Yes. Or as
Still
Patty would
hurts.
say, shot her in the face. Patty like
Right.
That's very harsh.
Patty's analogies are the best. Killing me.
How? Oh, go ahead, Maris.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just going to ask about the possible alliance between Lyanna, Anthony, and Nick. Do you think that could be, Lyanna seems to want to take a motherly role.
Miss Lyanna is too nice.
Mm-hmm.
Her being too nice is going to cause her to get eliminated.
She needs to be. I want to see her, Patty, and Meg, and her be the glue between.
She said she wants to do that too. Do you think?
I want them 3 to work together.
That I think that's the path.
It's not going to happen.
And then Patrick can like rope Deani in somehow.
I don't know about that. Like Deani seems like she's already pretty suspicious of Patty trying to sacrifice himself. So I think he pushed a little too hard on that, and everybody doesn't trust him now.
But a lot of people don't trust Deani either, though. Well, what's his name? Anthony doesn't. And then Anthony and Nick are like,
Anthony has no room to talk.
I think Lyanna will have allies all over the game. I think she'll be cool with Meg and Patty. I think she'll also be cool with Anthony and Nick. And then, then she can kind of make her choice about who she wants to favor the most. And it sounds like right now it's more like the Meg side.
I'm not too worried about Deani anyways, because if anybody can go to the afterlife and get out of there, I think it's going to be her. Just strictly based on social presence in the game.
I agree. She came to play.
Were you surprised by Patty, Deani, and Meg power players?
No.
Yes, Patty.
I wasn't.
I don't know.
Patrick is likable.
He is, but there's just something about him. Like I was convinced he was going to be in the bottom, and somehow he's at the top. And I mean, he worked his reverse psychology on me, and I didn't even know it was happening, which I guess is the point of it.
I think what Patty does, I think Patty always has a great first impression because he has good energy and he's so different. People usually like him, but then usually as you talk to him more and more, you start saying more off the rails things, or he's willing to kind of tell you off, or willing to throw your game out or expose what your game is. And it tends to tick people off. So I don't think it's the best thing to be a power player at the beginning, for one. Second, I think as he talks to more people, I don't see it happening as much. Just personally.
I think what was most surprising is that of everybody in the game, Patty, Meg, and Deani strike me as more strategic than everybody else. And I think they come off that way just by watching them. So if it comes off to me as a viewer, why would you put probably 3 of the strongest strategic players highly ranked, knowing that they could do some damage up there? So that's the most surprising part for me as to why they're there. I think if everybody else is thinking strategically, you put them towards the bottom so they can't work their magic.
I think as we saw with Aaron in the last season is that, you kind of vote with your heart at the beginning, just kind of naturally. And then when things are going your way, you're like, you know what? Screw being honest. I'm voting for me now. So, we can see it start to twist a little bit more as people start to understand how powerful these votes are.
Which group was Miguel in?
When?
Upper or lower? Like, no, he missed
Well,
it.
technically there's no bottom this time, so he was just typically in the middle because the monkeys paused the bottom.
No, I'm talking about like the high rated.
The high-low.
Oh, it wasn't known, but he was in the low, I think. He wasn't able to show up that night. He was supposed to be in the chat with Anthony and Nick and
Lyanna.
Yeah.
Can't miss chats, Miguel.
Dot.
You gotta dig yourself out of
lie. For real.
Gotta make up like 4 lies in a row just to get out of it. You don't want it, man. You don't want that. You don't want that life.
Well, lastly, did you agree with their reasoning for sending Jed over Anthony?
Yes and no. I think that Jed will be a loyal player, and I think you can put him down there and him benefit you. But again, I think Anthony is one of those, if you can get him into the afterlife, he's not going to get out. So probably should have taken that opportunity this time. But they hadn't seen his season yet. So
I think it's one of those moves where if it works, you're a genius, and if it doesn't work, you're an idiot.
Damn, Dot, you were an idiot for your first season.
So me and Didi can never agree. All right. Yeah, so I wouldn't have done it. I actually think that Jed will be upset that when he finds out that his team sends him there, and then he'll want to work with somebody else. So their idea to put him in there so that they have some power in the afterlife, it could be a good move, but I don't, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Jed will like that, and I don't think it's going to work in their favor. And the same, I think they should have taken the chance to get Anthony out while they had it. So dangerous play, but it could work out. I'm leaning towards no right now.
Well, I feel like if it's like it's like a sour taste in your mouth when you think you have like a group and then all of a sudden you're booted out. So I feel like him realizing that right away, it's like off-putting. I feel like he might not ever trust them again in the game, you know? I don't know. He seems like he could maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, you know, he's starting to think logically. So
Right. I think he's too smart to trust them again. Even if they go in there and try to do some damage control, he's too smart.
mhm.
Statistics.
Do any of the power players get a chance to talk to who's sent to the afterlife? Do we know if there's opportunities for that yet? Didn't they get to talk to people in the void at one point?
They did.
The last
This will be
season.
somewhat similar, a little different though.
Right.
They're gonna have to get down there and start talking to him
Mhm.
as soon as possible to try to mend whatever damage they might have caused.
It looks like the preview showed that he may choose to speak with Miguel. So even without knowing that his team put him in there, he's already trying to make some new friends. So I don't know. I don't see him working with them moving forward. I wouldn't. I'm the salty type.
Was he already like working with them or something?
They made a small pact.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to see what kind of fire this is lit under Anthony's ass. Like he was so close from, winning his season to be the first voted out, like reality check, right? You got to step up your game. You're doing something wrong. So I don't know if that's going to quiet him down for the next couple episodes or send him so far over the top.
Oh, we saw him do it in Survivor. When he was the target right up from the beginning, he actually quieted down a good bit to kind of get out of everyone's eye, and it worked. So this is what he does. He's a survivor, man. He knows what he's doing. Though he's crazy, he's also pretty self-aware. So I expect him to tone it down a little bit so he can make it further. He's too competitive to not.
Well, any final thoughts on the premiere?
Great cast.
I was gonna say, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the cast is a good mix. I'm excited to see what happens.
There's definitely some
especially-
characters.
Yeah.
You got some characters and a couple pieces of furniture for them to sit on.
Oh my god. Dang.
Not gonna name names.
Oh my
We
goodness.
know who you're talking about.
Any
Oh my
predictions?
She get fiery, man. There's some strange personalities, there's some strong personalities, there's some laid back personalities, and there are some really, really smart people in this cast. So we should see some drama this season. I'm ready for it.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me. Hopefully see you all again next week.